What's up everybody? It's Grapkin here. We're going to do a little Gran Turismo Let's Play. And basically, we're going to start from the very beginning. We're going to do some segmented videos, starting of course with the license tests. License tests are just like they sound. They're tests to get your license so you can race. A lot of people, they like to do just the beginner's license and then kind of get on with the game. But to be completely honest, if this is the first time you played, or if you're a little rusty, a license test is a perfect place to refine your skills. The littlest things can mean the difference between gold, bronze, and silver. An eighth of a second, tenth of a second. So it's a great place to just basically, like I said, refine your skills, find your chi, get in there and do what you got to do. Plus, it brings in your cars to kind of get started with. And what I'm going to do is try to present you with the best way to go out there and get gold. Because what's better than gold? Platinum, but they don't have it in this game. So we're going to stick with gold. I myself am a little rusty as well, so I'm going to use this as my stepping stone to go into A-Spec and teach you guys how to do the best you can. So let's go ahead. We're going to start out with some license tests at the very beginning. Basically, you have your B license. And I'm sorry, it's telling me I have to at least get in a car before I can start my license test. And luckily, they didn't have this back in the day when I first started playing Gran Turismo 5, but you're starting off with a pretty nice car. It's a Toyota 86 GT 2012. It's definitely a great car to start with. Back whenever I started playing the game, when it first came out, you had to go buy a used car, and I think you maybe had 20,000, maybe 10,000 to start with, I don't remember. But it wasn't a great amount. As you can see, this is one of the newer cars, and it's pretty nice. And every time you get a car, you get to have the color paint job, if you will, to paint whatever car you get in the future. And this beautiful orange color you have here, that's going to be to my disposal later on. So let's go ahead, and now that we've gotten our car situation taken care of, we're going to go ahead and try to do what we started before and start our license test. Now, technically, all you really need to get started in most of your beginner races is your B license. As you can see, you've got 6 different licenses. And they kind of go up, of course. You have your B, which is your national B license. I think B is beginner. Then you have your national A, your IC, which is your international C license, IB, which is your international B license, IA, so on and so forth, and then your super license. But of course, we'll start off with the B for beginner, and it's pretty simple. Going down the line, you get a reward at the end, obviously. When you get your license, for a reward, and the second, we'll kind of leave that up in the air as a surprise. But the more gold you get, if you get all gold, you get a bigger surprise. If you get all bronze, you just barely pass, but you still get your license, and you can move on. So we're going to start from the very beginning. Top Gear, one of my favorite shows. This is the first test track with a Toyota Vitz. Not that sporty of a car, but it'll get the job done in this situation. So let's go ahead and get to it. Now, in all your tests, some of them are going to be really easy, some of them are going to be impossible, and I believe there's a couple that I can't even get gold on myself. I'm saying I'm the greatest race car GT person out there, but I definitely get really good at gold. And there's a few that haunt me. We'll go ahead and tackle them as they come. But this one is basically, you're going to accelerate as fast as you can in the Vitz, brake as late as you can, as fast as you can, and try to get into this little zone, and I call the touchdown zone, without going past it, hitting the cones, without coming up short, and the limited amount of time, which is gold, is 13.3 seconds. Before you enter every one of these tests, you can mess with the driving options, which consist of your tires, which you can't change in any of the tests. Normally, your traction control and your ABS brakes are the 2 things you're going to want to change if you have to change it all. For instance, this one, you have no traction control at all. That's part of the test. ABS, that controls your braking with, and you always want to look at this, your tires. You have comfort, which is your lowest class of tires. They still roll, they still accelerate, they still stop, but they're not what you would call racing tires. Medium, it goes, you have your soft, medium, and hard. Hard lasts longer, but has less grip. Soft, it doesn't last that long, but it has a lot of grip. Medium, of course, is medium. So they set you standard with the comfort medium. Always try to have your skid recovery force if you have that on. And this is kind of my opinion of how I race. So you may find you do things differently, but I found this to be the easiest way. Now, control steering sensitivity. This basically is how much experience you've had. And this is going to be the lag between the time you turn and the time the car actually turns from TV. I like it to be very sensitive, so I play it on a 5. A lot of you are going to be able, if you're first time you're playing, you're going to want to keep it maybe on a 3 or 4. I find comfortable on 5 because I play on Logitech steering wheel. It's a Logitech Driving Force GT. I love it. Reasonable price for a great steering wheel. It has resistance. You can feel everything. The road, you can feel the brakes, you can feel the tail end of the car. It's a very nice steering wheel. And I think everybody who was a Gran Turismo enthusiast will agree completely. So let's go ahead and get underway. Test number 1, B-1 to be exact. Let's see if we can get this in 13 points every single time. I've been playing Gran Turismo since the second one, Gran Turismo 2. And I have to say, it's one of those games where you think you've topped out, you think you can't get any better. And you get involved in a race where you're even better. It's quite amazing. Alright. That's how you do it. We got gold on the first test, and it's all uphill from here. Obviously, being this first test, it is the easiest, and it will just get harder from here on out. Some will come naturally to you, some won't. Is this the first time you played it? I might suggest that you start out with automatic transmission, unless you're used to changing gears while you're playing a game. This is more or less a simulator than a game. This is one of the most realistic racing games out there. You're gonna feel every car. You're gonna hear the car sound like it does in real life. So, being this is the intro, the Gran Turismo 5, we're gonna go over every little aspect and every little thing for the days to come. And I hope that I can keep you interested and satisfied. But I know that I'm slightly above a mediocre player, and I hope we have some fun later on. For now, we're gonna go ahead and end this, go on to B2, and hope to see you soon. Take care.